Product images can make or break your success of Amazon business. In this video, you will learn how to analyze and improve your product listings through real examples, focusing on image optimization, A+ content, and brand storytelling. If you want to test your product images and listing elements before launching your product on Amazon, you can try PickFu. It's a tool which will help you to determine what visuals to use in your listing, and you will find the link to PickFu below in the description.
Hello, John. I'm really excited to have you back on Orange Click YouTube channel today. To do something which you are, I think, doing quite frequently, which is during town Amazon product listings to find what sellers could do better. And today, why we are doing this is we kind of want to give a quick guide for the sellers so they could do it on their own product listings as well to find some areas for improvements. But first things first, could you first introduce yourself and also give us a short overview of what PickFu is doing in Amazon space and how PickFu is helping Amazon sellers?
Yeah, totally, Lizette. Thanks again for having me. John Aspinall, brand evangelist here at PickFu. PickFu is an enterprise-grade consumer research tool for you to get insights and information on really anything, any aspect within your Amazon business and brand, whether it's your main hero image, your image stack, your A+ content. Is this a good item to launch? Is this a good color variation to launch? What my competition is doing better than me really gives you the consumer insight that you need to know that you otherwise really wouldn't have. And it's so quick that allows you to pivot sometimes same day in your business. So if you're finding some missing elements in your hero image through a PickFu poll, you can change that really quickly in something like Canva and update your image and impact your business same day. So it's really, really powerful.
And maybe to kind of go into the topic a little bit more, can you explain? Like, people know that you're super passionate into testing and adjusting images, etc. And I think some of even call you like a Canva magician because actually within just like a few minutes you're able to improve the main images so much that if you run them through the tests, your version is better. And can you explain like what, like for sellers who are, for example, not usually testing or adjusting their images, like why it matters and what can be the actual impact if you even slightly improve your product listing?
Yeah. So I think it all starts with the main hero image, right? So when you're shopping on Amazon, and it really can parlay into anything, right? Amazon, Walmart, TikTok shop. I spoke to a TikTok brand the other day and had him update his main image within TikTok shop and he increased his sales from that. So it's not just Amazon, but for this conversation, Amazon, when a buyer or consumer goes and searches something on Amazon, they inherently are going to look at the images first. They're not going to look at the title first. They're not going to look at the price first. They're going to look at the image first. Then they're going to look at the price. Then they're going to look at the title to confirm what they're looking at. Then maybe the reviews or coupons, and then click. So it's important that your image is really conveying something compelling and important that they want to see, and it stops the scroll. So if you're in a sea of like commoditized products that are all the same, how are you going to stand out, right? Are you saying everything that needs to be said? And we're going to pull up in a second, a couple examples of that. But you really want to say your main hero image should be able to be the one image that people can buy from, even if you had no bullet points, even if you had no A+ content. And a lot of folks don't realize the power in that. They think that that's just like the lead into the A+ and into the image stack, but you have to act as if you had none of that. Can your main image sell itself?
Okay, sounds really good. And also, I think even for some product pages, sometimes the bullets now are kind of like half hidden. So it seems like Amazon also is like showing with their updates that everything is moving towards more like visuals, and like the faster people can get the information, the better for Amazon and also obviously for the customers as well. Um, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon even sees the power in images because recently here in the US, I don't know about how international it is, but on the mobile app, what they're doing in certain categories is they're aggregating the sentiment of the reviews and feedback from the listing, and they're inserting it as a text overlay into slide number 3 in your image stack on certain categories and certain products on mobile. So even they realize how powerful images and how because they understand that people aren't really shopping and going and looking at I mean, some people are, but they're not going and look at the reviews and diving down. So they're really putting that information where people are actively having attention and looking. So it's interesting, and it's a good way for people to pivot too, because if Amazon's going to already put an aggregate of the reviews and good feedback or whatever it is on slide 3 in your image stack, then maybe you don't want to have slide 3 be the most compelling and most descriptive with text and stuff, because Amazon's going to overlay their text on top of that. So that's just another example of where you'd want to pivot.
Yeah, I actually also saw that, and curious to know if also you viewers you have seen the same updates, but probably they're gonna test, and if the testing goes well, we're likely gonna see it moving forward from here. But as you said, you prepared a few searches on Amazon, kind of to make it more practical videos, so we can actually follow along when you kind of discuss and kind of try to tear down the listings. So as you're starting sharing your screen, we can dive right into it.
Yeah. So, Lizette, we spoke about before the call some ideas, some categories. So we're talking about reusable eye patches, right? So in this space, it's a very heavily commoditized space. What does that mean? That means very Me Too, very China Direct, I'm going to buy something super cheap, throw my brand on it. There are some leaders in the space like Grace and Stella. That's a big brand that's in the space. But outside of that, you're seeing these China Direct kind of images. And the reason that I know it's China Direct is, I'm pretty good at this kind of stuff. So I can go over here, click over here, see over here, seller information, China Direct. So when I say things, I have the data and the experience to back it up. So when you're selling this kind of product, right? How are you standing out on the search engine result page? So when I'm looking at this, what do I get hit with? I get hit with a lot of gold, a lot of pink, a lot of multicolors and some purples, right? But if you know, like Shishido, that's a huge brand, right? It's a high ticket priced item. This is $88. I'm not going to click on it because it's sponsored. I don't want to, cost people money. But the thing is, what am I not getting? You know what? They're a big company. Let's click on it. So here's where they're lacking, right? They're a big brand. Are you familiar with this brand? It's like a makeup company.
No, actually, I'm not, and the reason I shared why we picked up this product as well is that actually I'm about to search one for myself. So I'm really curious to see how your thought process is going and to see if my own like shopping process would be kind of similar. So far, I'm kind of agreeing, but I don't know any of the brands to be fair on this space.
Yeah. So this is a big brand, and you could tell that it's a premium brand because in certain categories in skincare, wellness, makeup, beauty, this is a premium beauty category. And the way that you know that is because it has a logo above the title. So, and then it doesn't have traditional bullet points. It has these kind of bullet points, almost similar to handmade category. Whoops, I clicked on that. But you can see it's a huge company. They do very high ticket items. It's in brick and mortar retail stores here in the US. So it's a big brand name. Are they doing best practice? 1,000% no. Why do I say that? Is because when I look at this image, Lizette, do I know what this is? Is it telling me? Let me go back so you can see it from the search. Um, of course, it was. Oh, here we go. So, do I see the eye patches? No. Do I see how many I'm getting as a quantity? No. Do I see any value prop? No. Can I read any of this stuff that's on the package? No. And these are all things that when I'm taking a look at it, for an $88 price point, for someone that does like yourself, you don't know this brand, right? But it is a premium brand, but you don't know it. You won't know that it has 12 sets of 2 eye masks. That's a 24 count, right? So it's not showing you here. You don't know what color the product is, right? Versus Grace and Stella over here. Again, it says restoring eye mask. It could be better, but it's showing you inside the package what the individual packets look like, and it's showing you the actual product, right? Because you never want to be surprised and be like, oh my God, I didn't know this was purple. I didn't know it was gold. I didn't know it was this. Because you're putting it on your face, you may be walking around your house, you don't want to look crazy. You want to know exactly what you're getting into. So they need to do a better job optimizing this. But again, sometimes we find with premium brands, they don't care. They just put it on Amazon. This is just another cog in the wheel, in the machine. They don't really care. So when it goes to the image stack, now I get to see what it is, right? So it's more of a white cloth-like looking one, right? And I see it on the face. So this is not the traditional kind of jelly looking one that we've been seeing on the syrup. Um, so it's funny, you see this image right here. This would be a better main image than the image that they have over here, right? It's not the best, but it's showing the actual product, because here's the thing. They're spending money on the advertising for this. So they're not showing what the product looks like. So for $88, I want to see what it looks like. And if you're running an ad on it, I have to click to see what it is. And if I'm clicking to see and I realize, oh, it's a cloth-like one, I want those jelly-like ones like I see on TikTok. Nah, not for me. Well, then now you just wasted ad spend. Your ACOS goes up, your tacos goes up. It's not profitable and it doesn't make any sense. So even though it has good reviews and all that kind of stuff, it's again brand loyal stuff. The reason people are buying this and giving good reviews, they know Shishido, they know the product, they know the brand, and they know what they're looking for. But for people like you that don't know the brand, you want to be told a little bit more. But when we come down here to the A plus, brand story module here, it's not good, right? Because it's not showing me the entire line of what they have. 2,500 patents. Great. I only see 3 products here. What else do you have? This is the point of your brand story module. Invisible sunscreens, right? So is all you sell sunscreen? Like, no, you sell a ton more stuff besides that. Into the A plus content, they have premium A plus, which is great. But here's the thing. This is not the product I'm looking at. This is not the product I'm looking at. These are not the products I'm looking at. So a lot of brands have a problem. This is a product description. Like that's the basic fundamental of what A plus content is. It's a description of the product. But what brands are doing is they're trying to merchandise other things inside of here. So technically there's not one thing that's in here for the said product we're looking at. So this is a bad listing, right? So the only way that they're getting conversions are people that know the brand and they're going and they're buying it because they don't want to go to the store or they can't get it in their local area. But this is not what you want to do. Versus if I go to, because I know Grace and Stella, here, I'm not going to cost them money and click on their ad because it's a good company. I know them. So you see here, it's showing the product outside. It's showing the actual product. You know what you're getting into. The only thing that I would change about this is making the 24 larger so people can see it clearly, because that's a big value prop. But you can see here, the person actually putting the product on their face. They're talking about before and after. They're showcasing the value prop inside of it, what the ingredients are, UGC content. But Jessica Alba, huge famous person, I mean, if you don't have Jessica Alba, I get it, but just show other people that are using it. Vegan and cruelty free, available in other colors. They have other color options, other variations. So there's a reason why it's the #1 bestseller in the space, is because it's priced aggressively. It's priced really well. It stands out against the Me Too products. But if I go down here to, this, see, we're seeing everything else that they offer, who we are. We're seeing the collection of, oh, they don't just have this. Ooh, they also have this, this, this. I like to see that whenever I'm buying something. I want to see, ooh, they have a patch, they have a cream, they have a look. This is a really well done brand story module, right? They're talking about the use cases. Is really well done. Now, I bet you before I go into the A plus content, I bet you they're not going to talk about, and I haven't looked at this listing, but I bet you they're not going to talk about other products. They're going to talk about the one we're looking at. Let's take a look. Boy, what do you know? They're talking specifically about the product that we're talking about here. Bye puffy eyes, different colors, different things. And then at the bottom, they're giving that routine, that regiment. They hear other things you'd like to have as a secondary or tertiary kind of thing. And that's how you do it, right? Because I came here to learn more about this product. Don't sell me on something else when you haven't even sold me on the product that I came here looking at. So overall, they do a really, really good job. And these are the things I look at when I'm a shopper and when I'm talking to brands, when they're asking me at PickFu, what should I be testing? Well, what I would test is I would take this listing and I would, as a URL, and I would compare it against the Shishido version. And I would say, you know, if you're shopping on Amazon, which would you rather buy? Again, you would get more people saying the cheaper one, but then you're getting the feedback as to why they're not buying the more expensive one, right? Because they're going to say, for a more expensive price, you got to tell me more. You have to sell me more. You have to tell me the us versus them, why we're better for, 4 times the price at half the value, right? So these are the things I look for when doing those kind of acing reviews. We pulled up one more too. You said fishing gear. So that kind of piqued my interest with fishing gear, right? Because it's interesting. Because this is a very commoditized space too. Because I can tell you these kind of large conglomerate sets are going to be the standard on the SERP, where you get all these fishing hooks, all these lures, all these kind of things, right? Look at this. Bing, bing, bing. There's a million of these things. And what happens is people are only going to shop by price. If you see all this kind of stuff over here, Lizette, if I gave you $1 million right now to tell me in 20 seconds how many pieces are here, you wouldn't be able to do that. There's no way. You'd be out $1 million, right? So here in the title, they're saying 322, 353, 327. Everyone's trying to beat people by 5 pieces, right? And a lot of folks will say, hey, John, I can't say on the main hero image I'm 322 pieces because my competition is 353. I can't say that's a value prop when the competition has 30 pieces more than me. I say, no, you can, because your competition doesn't show it. So it's not clear that it's 353. It's in the title over here, right? So what you'd want to do with this, and I guarantee this is China Direct. I guarantee. Lizette, I'm very, very good at this. What'd I tell you? If I gave you $1 million, could you say the business name? Could you pronounce that?
No way. Well, okay, for a million I would try, but not right now.
Now you're down 2 million. So for me, for this, they're doing the packaging behind it, which is good. But what they're not doing on the packaging is showing how many pieces it is. Just say how many pieces it is as a post edit in Canva, Photoshop, Figma, whatever you want to do. Show me how many pieces it is. And I don't care if you're 30 pieces less than the competition. You're going to win because you're telling people how many pieces it is. You're not making people do the work of having to sit there, go 1, 2, 3, 4. No one wants to do that. And when we come down to this, right? China Direct images, right? All these kind of manufacturer 1.8 and 1. Oh, I don't need to know all that. It's a nice to know, right? But I'm not going to buy this set saying, how many inches is this one right here? Let me go and look over here. No, show someone fishing, right? They lose over here because they block the guy with his son doing a happy fishing. That's a miss. Don't show me the guide. Show me the guide in another image. But I need to see the happy smiling faces living their best life, right? Like, this is okay. I wouldn't say maggot. I would think of a better word to say than maggot. Maybe it is a maggot, but I think there's probably a more nicer sounding word than maggot. But I think that more happy smiling faces, why us? What's the alternative to using us? Buying individual pieces, that kind of stuff. The other thing commoditized China places try to do, B153, D220, A320. No. Make it simple. Don't say ABCD. Just 153 piece trout kit, 300, whatever it is. Like, make it very clear.
So the user experience is quite poor, like to shop and to understand. It's like too much going on in the photos, but then at the same time too less going on.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, like pros and cons. What's the pro and con we're talking about? To me, this looks like we're just opening it up in full. Are you saying us versus them?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I just wanted to say, isn't it the same thing?
I think what they're trying to say is this is us and we're organized, and versus this is not us, but it's not clear, right? And China Direct says things like dimensional display. I'm not looking to display this. I am looking to use this, right? So it's just not clear. And then if I go into another bad brand story module, right? Like the slogan, let's go, great angle. You're blocking your logo here. You're not showing the avatar. A+ content. I'm not going fishing in the Arctic, in Antarctica. Like, it's very, very odd. Like, I highly doubt. Well, I guess it's for ice fishing, but still, I can't read any of this. Lizette, can you read any of this down here? I can't even make it bigger. I can't read any of this kind of stuff. So
And I think on mobile it's even worse.
oh, forget it. Mobile, you're never going to see this kind of thing. So the way you'd make this better is show the avatar, show the why us versus the competition. What's the pain someone's have? Oh, it glows in the dark? I didn't even know that from the A+ content. But why is that important, right? Why is it, are the fish, am I fishing in the dark, right? Like, give me more substance as to why this is good. But you'll find that China Direct will never do that because they're going to try and beat on price. And that's where brands that are not within China, whether it's, EU, US, North America, whatever, you should triple down on branding, right? And giving a better user experience when it comes to shopping. So far, nobody, here we go, 356 pieces, right? And tells me what's inside. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's still better than what we just looked at. Perfect. 356 pieces, premium tackle box, complete accessories. Hey, the guy's using it, what they can catch with it. Store it easy, convenient to carry, not dimensional display case, convenient to carry, right? Somewhat decent kind of thing over here. I bet you this is not a China. Well, it's still China Direct. Maybe it's a good China Direct. I love how China Direct is saying their brand US, and then it's thinking like, oh, it's in the US. It's not in the US. Coming over here, fishing kits. This is a little bit of a see. They're calling out the 356 over here. Side A, side B. So it's just It's a better A plus content. Side A includes this.
Seems so much more like thought through, or like an improvement from the first one for sure you showed.
And that's an important thing to note is because I just showed 2 China Direct listings, right? One bad, one good. I thought this was almost a US listing, and I was fooled, right? And I'm never usually fooled that easily. So the point being is that China Direct is stepping up their branding and merchandising game and optimization game. So any US, EU seller outside of China that's not tripling down on this, China used to beat you on price. Now they're going to beat you on price and merchandising and optimization.
Smart words and smart thoughts.
I try, doing this 15 plus years. It's something that I've learned over the years, but there's many times where I'm wrong, right? And that's where PickFu comes in. I don't anything I say, I always PickFu, right? I make sure that I let the data speak for itself. Sure, there's some things that I talk about that's like, fundamental best practices, but before deploying them and executing on them, we have to run the testing because I could say, show how many pieces on that fishing kit, but the execution of it, right, needs to be clear because we can't just say it and then it's not readable because then it's not that you can't action on that, right? It's not going to be deployed really well. So you really want to then test, okay, is it better to have this color font or this color font or put it here or put it here? That's what the users, the shoppers and consumers through PickFu are going to tell you.
And for those who are kind of new to PickFu or haven't used it before or haven't heard about it before, can you give us a short overview? What kind of tests usually Amazon sellers are running using PickFu, and who are the people who are answering to the polls sellers can set up?
Yeah, so PickFu taps into a network over 18 million people. So here in the US, the best way I equate that is if you've ever heard the news say like 70% of Americans think that Joe Biden is the whatever. So those kind of networks of individuals we tap into and we layer our algorithm and software on top of it to reject any non-meaningful response, meaning that anything that you're getting from us as far as responses is going to be meaningful and actionable. Let me just pull up my screen here so I can show you some examples of that. Okay, so you see something like this. This is a comparison poll. So this is an A or B, right? So when we come down here, we're seeing the meaningful responses. I chose A because it was vegan friendly. I like the orange flavor and color. The orange label is more eye catching. But then you're seeing why I chose B. I like the gummy bear shape. I like that it's sugar free. So you're able to see which is a better image, you or your competition, right? But then, moreover, you're actually able to do things which are really cool, like click tests. So you can upload a screenshot of the search engine result page on Amazon and say, hey, if you're searching for detangling brushes, where are you clicking and why? So you get a real high level snapshot, literally, of where people are clicking. And this is my favorite kind of go-to one is because this product here, talk about China Direct commoditized price products. This is 2 of this exact same brush for half the price, but it's just in 2 different colors. But you can see no one's clicking here, only one person, but the majority are clicking here. So 12 people are clicking here. You're only getting 1 and it's twice the price as 2. The reason is nobody likes this color. They'd rather spend more and only get 1 than get 2 at this kind of color. So this helps you understand, hey, why am I not selling more? I'm half the price and I'm double the quantity. Well, the reason is nobody wants that color. So what this seller could do is then say, all right, let me go and launch 2 black ones at half the price. And they would capture a lot of market share away from this brand right here. So I'll give you one more example is sourcing your products, right? So let's say you're talking to a manufacturer and you're like, hey, I want to. This is in Germany, actually. This one, so you could run PickFus for German consumers, UK consumers, Canadian, American, Japan, all this kind of stuff. So this one, they were saying they're looking to source an aroma diffuser. But if these are heavy, these are big, they're not heavy, but they're bulky. They're not like small, little tiny remote controls, right? So when you're ordering these, you're ordering a container. The containers are large and expensive, right? And they got to go in the water. It takes a lot of time to get here. So you can imagine the pain in choosing the wrong item. Could you imagine what would happen if someone sourced a whole container worth of this? Nobody wants this. Out of 100 people, only 3 people want it. But out of 100 people, 64 want this one over here. So this helps you make better buying decisions in your business on Amazon. So it's not just when something's already on Amazon and how you could optimize it, but it's also in the sourcing process. So great example is, let's say you're selling, I'm trying to look at my desk what I have. This is an Amazon Worldwide Returns and Recommerce. That's a new program Amazon has. If you're sourcing like fanny packs like this, and you're killing it on Amazon selling the blue and black one, well, your manufacturer says, hey, John, we have the yellow and black, green and black, pink and black, purple and black, orange and black, whatever you want. And I'm like, oh, I'm already making $1 million a month on this. If I sell all 7 of those colors, I'll make $7 million a month. Yeah, let me get all those colors. But when I get them and put them on Amazon, maybe the orange and yellow aren't selling. I ordered all of these. I have 10,000 units in stock. Why are they not selling? Well, if I would have done the PickFu beforehand and learned that consumers do not want the yellow and orange, I would have never ordered the yellow and orange in the first place. I would have saved my money, reinvested it into the blue or another color that people actually wanted, and made more sales, had less headache, make more money, drive a Lamborghini. I don't know what I would do. But you can see how it helps people make better decisions.
Okay, very good. And if you have any questions about PickFu or the topic we just discussed, you can also leave the questions under the video as comments, because we're going to ask Sean to then come back to the video and answer those as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your knowledge with us and show how we could kind of analyze product listings a little bit, whether it's our own product listings or our competitors, to see how we could do better, because as you said, in the end, we want to make more money. So thanks again, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
I hope this video will help you to analyze and improve your Amazon product listings. If you want to try PickFu for testing your product images and listing elements, you'll find the link in the video description below. And don't forget to use 50% off your first poll coupon code, which you also will find below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons. And if you have additional questions about what you have just learned, leave them in the comment section below. And now I recommend you to watch this video where you will learn how to optimize your A+ content to drive more sales on Amazon. So check this out.